In a quiet corner of Manhattan, a penthouse window glows long before sunrise, and behind it is the world of Kai Madison Trump, the granddaughter poised to inherit a billion-dollar legacy. Her life moves between high-rise luxury, private schools, and a family empire built on influence. Today, we step inside that world to explore her home, her assets, and the remarkable lifestyle shaping the next Trump heiress. The story opens in the soft morning light of 2007, when a newborn girl named Kai Madison Trump arrived into a family already shaped by wealth, real estate, and national attention. She was the first grandchild of Donald Trump, and from the beginning, her world carried the quiet weight of legacy. Her parents, Donald Trump Jr. and Vanessa, raised her in New York City, where the skyline became the backdrop of her childhood. In her earliest years, Kai grew up inside apartments filled with warm light, tall windows, and the steady hum of Manhattan below. Nothing about her life was loud or chaotic. Instead, she was surrounded by calm routines, mornings at school, afternoons with friends, evenings with family. But behind that quiet rhythm was a reality few children ever face: the expectation of growing up inside a dynasty where every move, every smile, every step forward might one day matter. When her family life changed and her parents separated, Kai entered a new chapter. It could have been a moment of uncertainty, but instead it became the turning point that shaped her strength. She divided her time between two homes, learning early how to stay steady in a world that shifted around her. She grew close to both parents in different ways. Her mother offered stability and warmth, while her father opened the door to the broader Trump world: campaign events, public gatherings, and the structured discipline of the family empire. As she grew older, her confidence became clearer. Kai stepped into sports and found a sharp, focused side of herself. Tennis courts and volleyball courts became the places where she learned effort, strategy, and composure. Each match taught her a lesson in competition and grace, skills that echoed the traits expected of someone raised in a powerful family. Meanwhile, the Trump business universe continued to expand around her. She watched her father move between real estate meetings, media interviews, and political arenas. She saw how influence worked, how loyalty was valued, and how every decision carried consequences. These experiences did not push her into the spotlight. Instead, they shaped the calm, observant way she approaches her life today. The bright light of her teenage years came with new responsibilities. She supported her father during political campaigns, appearing beside him with a steady presence that surprised many. She learned how to handle cameras, crowds, and the energy of a national stage without losing her composure. It was never about performing. It was about showing up for her family. At home, Kai experienced a lifestyle built on privacy and comfort. High-rise living gave her quiet views over the city, a sense of calm far above the noise. Vacation homes, private schooling, and structured routines surrounded her with security. Yet the most important influence came from seeing how her family worked, how they built, protected, and expanded their fortune. She is still young, still discovering her place in the world, but her path is already shaped by these lessons. Every chapter, the warm childhood mornings, the family changes, the sports courts, the campaign trails, leads to the life she has now. A life grounded in privilege, but guided by awareness, stability, and quiet resilience. And now let us explore the apartment where she lives, a space that reflects the rhythm and status of a young Trump heiress. House in Florida. Set within the private, manicured landscape of Jupiter, Florida, Kai Madison. Trump's Florida residence reflects the quiet luxury of a family that has lived in the spotlight for decades, yet prefers privacy at home. The property rests inside a gated golf community where palm-lined streets, wide fairways, and serene lakes create a backdrop that feels worlds away from the pace of Manhattan, the city where Kai spends much of her time. The home, valued around $2,600,000, is a modern Mediterranean estate designed for comfort and security. Its facade combines soft stucco walls, tiled roofing, and tall arched windows that let warm Florida light fill every room. A curved driveway leads to the entrance, where lush plantings and trimmed hedges frame a home that feels both inviting and discreet. Inside, the atmosphere is airy and polished. High ceilings open the living spaces, where neutral tones, stone flooring, and gentle natural light create a calm environment well-suited for a family that often navigates intense public attention. The main living area flows into a spacious kitchen built around dark wood cabinetry, granite counters, and stainless steel appliances, a practical, family-centered space designed for gatherings more than formality. The home includes 6 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms, offering privacy for every member of the household. Kai's suite reflects the balance of youth and refinement. Clean lines, soft color palettes, and large windows overlooking the community's landscaped greens. Every room carries the sense of quiet that defines life in Jupiter, a place chosen for safety, calm, and space to grow. Outside, the property opens to a wide backyard with a resort-style pool bordered by stone decking. It is a space built for Florida afternoons, sunlight on the water, the distant sounds of golf carts passing, and the soft breeze that moves through the palms. The covered patio extends the living area outdoors, creating a shaded lounge perfect for reading, studying, or quiet family meals. In this Florida home, Kai experiences a lifestyle shaped by privilege, yet softened by privacy. A place where she, her mother, and her siblings have grown together through peaceful mornings, steady routines, and a sense of normalcy far removed from the public world her family inhabits. And from this quiet Florida sanctuary, her world shifts again in Manhattan, into the gleaming high-rise pulse of Trump Tower. Trump Tower in Manhattan. High above Fifth Avenue, in the polished glass structure that defines Trump Tower, Kai Madison Trump has experienced a different rhythm of life. One shaped by height, light, and the quiet privilege of being part of New York's most recognizable family. She does not own a residence here, but the tower has been a familiar backdrop since childhood, a place where the city feels both grand and strangely intimate. The tower itself stretches along the skyline at 725 Fifth Avenue, known for its bronze-tinted facade and the sweeping atrium that once drew crowds of tourists every day. Inside, private floors rise far beyond the noise of Manhattan, where views spill across Central Park, Midtown, and the endless grid of city lights. Apartments here routinely exceed $10 million, crafted with marble floors, mirrored hallways, and gold-toned accents that reflect the building's signature aesthetic. For Kai, the experience of Trump Tower is less about ownership and more about atmosphere. The gliding elevator rides to private levels, the soft greeting of doormen who know her face, the sense of safety that comes with guarded entrances and restricted floors. It is a world where city pressure thins out the higher you rise, replaced by polished silence and the distant hum of Fifth Avenue below. She has grown up moving through its corridors, attending family gatherings, stopping by during holidays, or simply visiting when the family is in Manhattan. These visits do not define her entire life, but they shape a part of her identity: the urban sensibility, the confidence of navigating one of the most high-profile buildings in the city, and the early exposure to rooms filled with conversations about business, art, fashion, and politics. Trump Tower remains one of the symbolic spaces tied to her story, not as a home she owns, but as a landmark that has quietly framed her connection to New York. It is the place where she learned the texture of Manhattan life: sharp, luminous, fast-moving, and always a few floors above the world outside. And when the high-rise glow of Manhattan fades behind her, her world shifts into something entirely different: the calm, sunlit luxury of her father's waterfront mansion in Jupiter. Mansion in Jupiter. When Kai Madison Trump visits her father in Jupiter, she steps into a home that feels more like a private resort than a residence. A $9.7 million waterfront estate tucked inside Admiral's Cove, one of Florida's most exclusive enclaves. From above, the property unfolds like a geometric masterpiece. Terracotta roofs, sweeping terraces, a mirror blue pool, and a private dock stretching into still water. It is the kind of place where silence feels curated and the sunlight seems to fall more softly. Inside, the scale becomes immediately apparent. The great room rises 2 full stories, washed in daylight from towering windows that frame the pool and the lagoon beyond. Marble floors cut in intricate patterns reflect the sky, and every doorway opens to another vista. Arches draped in green ivy, courtyards glowing in the afternoon sun, or wide lawns that seem to float above the shoreline. It is a house built to impress, yet its quietness gives it a surprisingly intimate ease. On days she spends here, Kai often gravitates to the bright family living area, where the open plan reveals the heart of the home. A chef's kitchen dressed in white cabinetry, copper accents, and a broad stone countertop glowing under recessed lights. The space opens seamlessly to the lounge, where soft neutrals and blue cushions echo the colors of the water outside. It is a room made for gathering, conversations drifting between the kitchen island, the sofas, and the terrace just beyond the glass doors. Upstairs, the mood becomes warmer and more personal. Kai sometimes stays in one of the serene guest suites, each wrapped in earth-tone wood, soft bedding, and windows that pull the landscape straight into the room. Another suite, edged with curved windows, overlooks the canal, a morning view filled with sunlit ripples and the slow movement of boats passing by. Her father's home gym is another space she occasionally uses, surrounded by panoramic glass that turns every workout into a quiet meditation over water. A few steps away, the spa-like room with its marble-rimmed soaking tub offers one of the best frames of the estate. A still pool, a manicured lawn, and the soft Florida horizon stretching outward. Evenings here tend to settle on the terraces. Under the wooden pergola, the breeze moves across the canal as the sun dips behind the rooftops of Admiral's Cove. The outdoor lounge, arched stone openings, climbing vines, and deep cushioned chairs, becomes a gentle halfway point between indoors and out, where Kai can sit with family, share stories, or simply watch the last light touch the water. The centerpiece of the property is the pool terrace, a broad sweep of limestone surrounding a shimmering resort-style pool that curves toward the expansive lawn. From here, the estate feels endless, a private world of gardens, pathways, and green space that leads to the dock at the water's edge. It is the part of the home that Kai loves most, open, breezy, and perfectly removed from the pace of the city. She does not live here, but the mansion still holds a gentle place in her life, a place she and her siblings return to whenever they visit their father, where the peaceful air of Florida and the wide open spaces give them warm, easy moments of family togetherness. And from this peaceful home, we move on to the cars that follow her to school and through everyday life. Car collection. The Tesla Cybertruck entered her life as a kind of bold statement, a machine that matched the sharp, futuristic rhythm of her world. She chose it for its striking steel body, the silent pull of its electric motors, and the sense of freedom it carried along long Florida roads. The first time she eased into its driver's seat, dressed for an evening out, the cabin felt like a private cocoon, minimalist, metallic, and unexpectedly calm. With a value hovering around $90,000 depending on configuration, this is the vehicle that reflects Kai Madison's style and personality. And then there is the Audi Q5, a car that blends comfort with quiet elegance, something closer to her daily rhythm. She uses it on school mornings, weekend practices, and the steady routines that shape her teenage life in Florida. Inside, the cabin feels warm and modern, with soft leather seats, a clean dash design, and a digital display that glows gently in front of her. The kind of space that makes every drive feel settled and familiar. Its market value in the $45,000 to $55,000 range creates a balance between practicality and refinement. Together, these cars reflect two sides of her world: the bold energy of the future and the warm simplicity of everyday life. And now, let's explore the values that shaped her world, the privileges she was born with, and the foundation of a legacy she would one day inherit. Income and net worth. For Kai Madison Trump, the money story does not begin with a paycheck or a contract. It begins with a number already waiting for her, a family fortune measured in billions, built long before she was born. That figure is the backdrop of her life, shaping the comfort she grows up in and the opportunities that will follow her into adulthood. Her income today does not come from jobs or business deals. Instead, it moves quietly through the channels that exist around a high-profile family. Trust funds set aside for education, structured financial planning designed to grow with her, and investments handled by professionals long before she ever needs to make her own decisions. These are the parts of her financial world that stay invisible but steady, the slow building blocks of generational wealth. The Trump enterprise also plays a role in her future financial path. Real estate holdings, licensing deals, and long-standing business partnerships form the foundation of the wealth she will one day inherit. Even though she does not earn income from these ventures now, she grows up watching how they function: properties rising in value, brands expanding across states and countries, and the way each decision adds another layer to the family's financial landscape. There is also a modern side to her financial future. As a public figure within a well-known family, she carries potential value in areas like media presence, image rights, and digital branding, opportunities that many young heirs eventually turn into careers of their own. She is not pursuing these avenues yet, but the path is there if she chooses it. What matters most is how that foundation shapes the life she lives today. The private school she attends, the Florida home that gives her space and calm, the cars she moves through her teenage years with, and the security that surrounds her family, all of it reflects wealth that was built across generations. She grows up inside a system designed to give stability, education, and choice, rather than pressure or expectation. Her money story is still unfolding. She is young, learning, and slowly forming her own view of the world. But the financial world around her, the trusts, the assets, the real estate, the legacy, already sets the stage for the decisions she will one day make and the life she will eventually build for herself. And from that foundation, we move into something softer: the small ways she is learning about kindness and giving. Philanthropy. Her charity journey started at school, when she joined a winter toy drive and saw how a small gift could make another child smile. That moment encouraged her to donate 200 toys and help raise $3,000 for local shelters. She later joined a food drive in Palm Beach County, helping pack more than 1,500 meals for families in need. The experience showed her the value of quiet, steady giving. As an athlete, she also supported a youth sports fundraiser, contributing $1,000 to help younger players receive new equipment. These are small acts, but they reflect the kindness and awareness she is growing into: gentle, sincere, and a natural part of her everyday life. Beyond her charitable efforts lies another side of her story: the private moments, the daily rhythm, and the personal life that quietly shapes her as she grows. Personal life. These days, Kai Madison Trump's life moves quietly between school, golf, and the online world where she shares small pieces of her day. She is in her final year at the Benjamin School in Palm Beach County, balancing homework with early morning practice sessions at golf clubs near her Florida home. Her Instagram, followed by more than 2.5 million people, works like a photo diary, sunrise swings, green fairways after class, strength training, and the quiet moments when she stands alone on the tee box, focused and calm. Her school routine is simple: classes, practice, conversations with friends, then back to the course in the afternoon. Golf is more than a sport to her. It is a bond with her family. Whenever schedules align, she plays with her grandfather, where lessons in technique blend with family stories and become memories she carries with her. She also spends time preparing for tournaments. Most recently, she received an invitation to participate in the Annika, a professional women's event, a major milestone for a high school athlete. The pressure is there, but she approaches it with steady confidence. For her, golf is a path of growth and discovery, a chance to see how far discipline and patience can take her. Outside the course, her life remains that of a typical 18-year-old. Music, fashion, weekend trips to the beach with friends, and quiet afternoons after school. On social media, she is not flashy. Instead, she shares honest moments of training, focus, and the everyday rhythm of someone chasing a goal. Between the spotlight of her family name and the normal life of a teenager, Kai chooses balance. She stays focused on her studies, builds her golf journey step by step, and documents it in a gentle, thoughtful way. This is her life today. Simple, purposeful, grounded, and full of small moments that shape the story she is writing for herself. If you enjoyed exploring Kai Madison Trump's world, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Tell us which part of her lifestyle inspired you most, and whether you want to see more chapters of her journey in the future. See you in the next videos.